भवति उत्तपश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 16. The chapter title is Opulence of the Absolute. Bhaktirbhavati naiष्ठिके. Bhaktum arasi asisena dibya hi atma vibhutyah yavir vibhutibhi lokan imam stvam vyapya ithasi. Bhaktum arasi asisena dibya hi atma vibhutyah yavir vibhutibhi lokan imam stvam vyapya tishtasi. Word by word meaning. Bhaktum, to say. Arasi, you deserve. Asisena, in detail. Dibyaha, divine. He, certainly. Atma, your own.
Unlike growth,
opulence.
We're for brighter days and new tomorrows.
Yavihi, by which. Vibhutivihi, opulences. Lokan, all the planets. Iman, these. Tvam, you. Vyapya, pervading. Tisthasi, remain. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these words. This is what Arjuna is asking Krishna here. Purport. In this verse, it appears that Arjuna is already satisfied with his understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. By Krishna's grace, Arjuna has personal experience, intelligence, and knowledge. And whatever else a person may have, and through all these agencies, he has understood Krishna to be Supreme Personality of Godhead. For him, there is no doubt, yet he is asking Krishna to explain his all-pervading nature. People in general, and the impersonalists in particular, concern themselves mainly with the all-pervading nature of Supreme. So Arjuna is asking Krishna how he exists in his all-pervading aspect through his different energies. One should know that this is being asked by Arjuna on behalf of the common people. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghuna Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Se Visakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanang Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadra Bhyang Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining for today's Bhagavad Gita class. Last few weeks we have been discussing about chapter 10, about this absolute potency of Krishna, specifically the different vibhutis, how Krishna is all pervading. And Arjuna is inquiring the questions in detail on our behalf. So this subject matter of the all pervading topic is very wonderful. How Krishna spreads all around and how Arjuna is inquiring. So my knowledge is very limited. I'm still learning day by day with all your association. But with all of your mercy, I'll try to glorify this beautiful subject matter. So next 30-40 minutes, I might do a little endeavor on this for your pleasure, for pleasing Guru and Gauranga. So might commit some offenses, might not be able to utter the right word in the right consciousness. So begging your forgiveness in advance. So here if you see, Krishna, you see that Arjuna is asking about Asishena. Generally, Shesha means what? It's kind of ending. But Asishena means kind of in detail, kind of, there is never ending. So Arjuna is inquiring here So that Krishna, you guide me about your different vibhuti, different opulences. That is spreading not only this only one planet. This is entirely in all the planets. It is spreading. So here, if we see here, that Arjuna is inquiring about this transcendental nature. So we must understand that Arjuna has already understood Krishna. How he has understood Krishna? So far Krishna has explained him so many aspects. Like we have seen the last I think 6 or 7 months or more than that, we have been discussing Bhagavad Gita. So we have seen that Arjuna has so many doubts and Krishna is patiently explaining one by one. He is explaining. And Arjuna also was a childhood friend of Krishna. He was a relative to Krishna, and he has seen also so many pastimes Krishna has conducted. Whenever there is a need, Krishna is always to save Arjuna and his family. So Arjuna was pretty good of practical experience how Krishna has always protecting him, which is sometimes Krishna has done sometimes superhuman activities to protect Arjuna and his family members. So Arjuna has quite a good amount of experience. Now with this theoretical knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the way Krishna explained Arjuna how to do duty and how to do karma yoga, how to do devotional service, how this material nature works, and how he is the fast living being, and he is the seed giving father. Like all these topics Krishna has described. So Arjuna has understood now that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Now here Prabhupada tells it in the purport, he has highlighted in only one particular thing. How can we understand Krishna better day by day? That is only possible by Krishna's grace. So Krishna's grace is always infinite. Even if you get a little bit of Krishna's grace, Krishna's mercy, we will be able to understand Krishna. Without that, it is definitely not possible to understand Krishna. So there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 10 when Brahma is he is worshipping Krishna and he is describing how to understand Krishna. So Brahma is saying here, Athapi te deva padam bhajadvaya prasada lesanugrihita evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachanya kopi chiram vichinban. So Brahma is saying, my Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of a lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Veda for many years. So basically here, we see that there are materialist people. They can count. They can see. They are so talented. They can see. Like the leaf. They can see a leaf and they can understand how there are so many photons are there, how there are so many electrons are there, and how the food synthesis is happening inside a small leaf. They can find everything, and they can also see. I will count also, if possible, they can count also how many atoms are also there in the entire universe. But still, they cannot understand Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the conditioned soul can try billions of years through mental speculation. He might also travel at the speed of the light or mind, but still, he cannot understand the absolute truth, because absolute truth is inconceivable for him. Why? Because in the materialist thought and materialist mind, nobody can measure Krishna's length and breadth. For that, we need Krishna's mercy only. So how much mercy is needed? Here Brahmaji is saying, prasada lesa nugruhita, means even a slight trace of mercy. With a slight trace of mercy, what is possible? One can understand Krishna, janati tattvam. Basically Brahma is saying, with a little bit mercy, we can understand Krishna's potency, Krishna's power, how Krishna's loving extension to gopis. Otherwise, it is not possible. Otherwise, it's kind of a mundane storytelling, or otherwise it's a mythology for us. So we need a little fragment of mercy. With that little fragment of mercy, we can understand the inconceivable potency of Krishna. Now you might see that when we do Ekadasi fasting break, now recently we had Ekadasi, the next day, I think yesterday it was right, we broke the fast. So you might have seen, we all generally, we take a little morsel of Jagannath Prasadam. So basically this Jagannath Prasadam in Puri they say Kanika Matra Prasadam. Kanika Mitla means, like when you are holding two fingers in the tip of the finger, whatever is you hold, it is Kanika. Means it is a kind of a 1 grain. It's a kind of a morsel of rice. So that morsel of rice is called Nirmalya in Puri. It's called Nirmalya. Nirmalya means that is priceless. That like generally you go to temple to buy prasadam. You pay some money, so you pay for it. Any kind of food you pay, you get it. You can get a good amount of food. But this little bit grain of Jagannath Mahaprasad is basically there is no, you cannot comprehend the price for it. Why? Because it can take away all your anarthas. It has that potency. It can take out all your sins and it can connect you to Krishna for a good fortune or a good, better, loving relationship with Krishna. So that's why prasadam, even if it is a little, prasadam is kind of a mercy, and even if it is a little form also, it has a lot of power and lot of potency. So when you do fast break, you don't take a full plate of any prasad or anything at home. We do fasting with a little grain of Jagannath Mahaprasad. So that's why Brahma is saying lesano grihita means a slight trace of mercy. So slight trace of Krishna's grace is very, very important. So Krishna's mercy is essential. So by Krishna's grace, Arjuna has the potential experience. He has a personal experience. His mother was actually Krishna's aunt. So he was Krishna's first cousin kind of thing. He was Krishna's devotee. They studied, sometimes they played together also. So Arjuna has seen how wonderful Krishna was by his experience. He has also heard also how Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. Also, he has seen how during the Hastinapur episode, how Krishna came to protect Draupadi Maharani. Then there are so many instances Krishna has protected Arjuna. So Arjuna has quite a good amount of practical experiences to see how Krishna is helping him in every part of the way. So how Krishna is acting in this world, Arjuna has seen it and Arjuna has experienced it. So basically, we see that sometimes we have so many experiences. But if we're fortunate enough, then only we can understand these experiences. There's behind these experiences, Krishna's hand is there. But sometimes, if we don't have the good fortune or we don't have a good association of the devotees, or we have very done impious activities, or we have lack of Krishna's mercy, or we don't have Guru's Krupa, then so many experiences will be happening in front of us. So we won't be able to understand this. So the experiences, Krishna's glory will be happening all around you, but we cannot understand it. So we cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. So you all might have so many experiences in your day-to-day life, how Krishna has come and protected you. Like in your family or family members, or maybe some scriptures you have written. So you might have seen how Krishna at the end, he comes and protects. So basically, when we try to see Krishna, sometimes also we cannot see Krishna. Everything will be in front of us. We are seeing something is happening, but we really can't see it. Why we can't see it? Because we need a proper vision or proper consciousness or proper kind of knowledge to see this experience as kind of that Krishna's hand is in there. So if we don't have the real knowledge, scriptural reference or association, we won't be able to see it. His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu has written a nice book, When Good Fortune Arises. So what happens when good fortune arises? When good fortune arises, we get sadhu sangha. So what happens with sadhu sangha? With sadhu sangha, we get all kind of siddhis. What are the siddhis? What is the end of the siddhis? End of the siddhis is to know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whatever we are doing, for whomever we are doing, the main person behind it is Krishna. So there is in Brahma Samhita, also Brahma also describes Pantas to Koti Sattavatsara Sampragamya. What does that mean? That those materialistic people, what they will do? They will spend thousands of or millions of years just to understand Krishna, but they still cannot see Krishna. Why they cannot see Krishna? Because they don't have the proper vision to see Krishna, because they don't have the mercy. So yogis or the Krishna conscious people can see how Krishna is situated in every living being. Whether it is a living entity, non-living entity, Krishna is everywhere. But those who are there called kind of a pious souls or krutatma. But there are some kind of unpious souls are there, impious souls are there. That kind of akrutatma. They are the period of the devotional service. They are not able to see Krishna. So what they will do, they will basically they will build some kind of experiments they will do. They will try to travel at the speed of the light or at the speed of the mind to go here and there just to measure the things. But still, whatever practice they will do, they won't be able to see Krishna because they don't get the mercy of spiritual master, or neither they have the proper scripture knowledge, or neither they have the association. They don't have the proper eyes of the knowledge. If you generally what we do, in our eyes we see that we see some things, but if we don't have the eyes with knowledge, we cannot see. Again, in Brahma Samhita also it is written, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Bilochanena. You have the eyes of the knowledge. Again, on top of that, your eyes should be also annotated with the devotional, with the love of Krishna. How that love of Krishna will come? By doing the devotional service. So with the plain eye, if we see, you see just this material mundane universe is there. Everything is material. You just see a tree. But when you have the proper knowledge and you have the love, you have the thorough understanding, you can see things clearly. So materialist people, they can see Krishna, but still they don't see Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, Krishna says, Nainam pasyanti achitasaha. Achitasaha means those who do not have the right consciousness. Those who do not have the right consciousness, they cannot see Krishna. But those who have the right consciousness, they can see Krishna. They can see Krishna means what? They can see Krishna's presence in everywhere. Here Arjuna is saying in the chapter, in the beginning, that please tell me in detail your divine opulence by which you pervade all these worlds. Arjuna is not saying that Krishna were pervading only in this world. Now, he's not saying that Krishna were pervading in America or India or somewhere else. He's saying in all these worlds, there are all the 14 planetary systems are there. So Krishna's presence is everywhere. So that's what actually Arjuna is trying to inquire here, that how to see Krishna everywhere. Now Arjuna always is 100% sure that yes, we can see Krishna everywhere. But Prabhupada here is saying that Arjuna is asking these questions on our behalf. Now, I was listening to a nice lecture of Jayadatt Maharaj. Maharaj very nicely has pointed out about this topic. Maharaj was saying that when, suppose you are in a gathering, all of a sudden, the Queen of England enters the hall where the party is going on. You are the part of the party. But you see Queen of England is there and you go and talk to her and you think that some old lady has come, maybe somebody's aunt has come, you just talk to her casually. You don't pay attention. Then immediately somebody will come and announce and tell that Queen of England has come. Then immediately your reaction towards that will change. You will immediately go and greet her and tell her, Your Majesty, how are you doing? Your dealings, your exchange, everything will change. So one has to see through the eyes of knowledge. Then only this personal experience has any value. Otherwise, this Queen of England is just like any other ordinary lady to anybody. But when a person is aware of that, this is Queen of England, then only the experience changes. So here, that's why Prabhupada is saying in this purport here that Arjuna has three things. Arjuna basically has. He has personal experience, he has intelligence, and he has knowledge. And whatever else a person may have, all through the agencies, he has understood Krishna to be Supreme Personal Godhead. So personal experience is very, very important. How to get personal experience? Personal experience we should get only by doing devotional service. And the next one is Prabhupada is saying intelligence. And with intelligence it is added with the personal experience, it gives a good flavor to understand Krishna better. And on top of that, what is needed? You need the mercy or the Krishna's grace, whatever in the purport or Prabhupada is saying. That personal experience, intelligence, mercy, and on top of that, the knowledge. These things are definitely needed to understand Krishna better. Now, personal experience, we know that we interact, then we do devotional service, then we have the personal experience. Then intelligence. This personal experience also we can do only by Krishna's mercy also. And how intelligence? Intelligence also we can get only by mercy of Krishna. How? Because Krishna gives the intelligence. How does Krishna give? That also Krishna describes earlier in chapter 9. Tesam satatam yuktanang bhajanti pritipurvakam dadami vidhu yagam tam yena mam upayanti te. So here Krishna is saying that if you worship me with love, with like no bhajanti pritipurvakam, if you always think of me or meditate of me as a friend, or it's kind of a harmonious or good experience, kind of good loving relationship kind of thing, then only I will give you buddhi yoga. I will give you the proper intelligence. So we should always engage in devotional service with love for Krishna. Then only Krishna will give us intelligence. So Arjuna, we all know that he had a very much good loving relationship with Krishna. So Krishna reciprocated with Arjuna with all these things, all this intelligence. Then Krishna says, if we worship me with intelligence, we get more intelligent. So we see that if we do devotional service more, we get more opportunities to do serve more Krishna and better in a better way. If we avoid doing devotional service, Krishna gives us more chance to avoid them. So that's why I say, if we take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 100 steps towards us. So if we try to utilize our intelligence on Krishna service, our intelligence increases. If you try to utilize our intelligence in mountain activities, like you all Matajis and Prabhujis are attending in this Bhagavad Gita classes to understand Krishna. So I'm 100% sure all of you must have been getting more intelligence in understanding Krishna better and better. But instead, if we had been engaged in watching some TV Mandan serials or going to some movies, so our intelligence in that way would have been increased. So we should be staying, our intelligence in Krishna consciousness or the real lessons of knowledge would have reduced by now. So we see here that whatever a person should have, Arjuna had everything. Through that, Arjuna knew that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So any knowledge or anything we do, at the end, if we understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that knowledge or that endeavor or that service, that is perfect. So everything becomes perfect, our life becomes perfect when we do devotional service and we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 15, verse number 10 and 11, Krishna is describing about that how we can see Krishna with the eyes of the knowledge. Those who are bimudha, like those who are less intelligent, or in Prabhupada's language, fool or mudhas, basically they don't see Krishna pervading everywhere. They don't see Krishna. But those whose eyes are covered with the knowledge of the transcendental, basically knowledge, this is not kind of ordinary knowledge, this is basically transcendental knowledge in the subject matter of Krishna. They see Krishna everywhere and all around. So we see here this personal experience, intelligence and mercy. These three are very, very much important to understand Krishna better. Now, so impersonal generally we see they're very, very less fortunate. Why they're less fortunate? Because they do not understand Krishna as Purushottam or Supreme Personality of Godhead. They may think that Krishna is one of many gods, like any ordinary god, or he is kind of any manifestation of a higher principle, or kind of any kind of methodology. So Krishna may be this, Krishna may be that. So they have so many kind of speculations. But devotees, they have understood that Krishna is Bhagavan, the two-hand form of Samasundar who has a threefold bending. And if they do a loving exchange with Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate. So this is the understanding of a devotee. And we all know that the absolute truth, about the absolute truth aspect, the absolute truth, basically we have the Brahma, Paramatma and the Bhagavan. So once we understand the Bhagavan aspect, the Brahma and Paramatma aspect is automatically covered over there. Now here we see that Arjuna is asking about the Vibhuti part. So what is the Vibhuti? Vibhuti is basically the opulences part. So what are the opulences here? The Krishna's opulences are unlimited. Sometimes we see that Krishna's opulences are so unlimited that Krishna himself also cannot count. He also cannot imagine that how many opulences I have. So it is beyond also his comprehension. Anything Krishna wants to describe, that opulence increases. Like we see in Vrindavan pastime, Krishna, we see the Radharani and Krishna's exchanges, then Gopi and Radharani's exchanges. Like Krishna says that how gopis are talking about me, how they're hiding the butter, how how Radharani and gopis are going to a forest to see Krishna. How all these beautiful pastimes we see that. Then Krishna has a doubt. How these gopis love me so much? What is in their me that they're loving me so much? So so in that case, the love increases again and again. So the love becomes so much that Krishna again comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand that love. So Krishna himself doesn't understand his energies. His all kind of energies. He has Krishna's Ladini Sakti or his material energy, whatever energy says that. When Krishna tries to analyze that, those energies again also increase, because Krishna's energy is absolute. If we take from that, or if we add up onto that, it is not going to reduce, or it's not going to happen anything. So, but the impersonalists cannot imagine about that. So here in chapter 6 and verse 30, Krishna says here, Yame pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pasyanti tasyaham na pranasami sacha me na pranasyanti. For me, one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor he is ever lost for me. So Arjuna has understood this. So Arjuna wants us to realize that how to see Krishna all around. So a Krishna conscious person, he sees everything in action to Krishna. Like when we drink water, a Krishna conscious person will think that, yeah, this taste of water is basically Krishna. And when they see a beautiful champak tree, for an ordinary materialist person, it's just a champak tree, just a flower giving tree, and it has a sweet scented flower. But when a devotee sees it, he thinks that this tree basically, this body or bark of the tree is basically the external energy. And then within a tree, there is a soul. The tree basically is a living entity, so tree has a soul. So tree has a soul, and again, there is a super soul also inside it. Then again, the pleasure potency will come into account. He will think, under this champak tree in Vrindavan, the gopis were plucking the flowers and they were offering to Radharani and Krishna. Then immediately, if there is a high-level devotee, he will again think that in the, yes, there is a Radhika Krupa Katha Stava is there. There it is written that this Radharani's complexion is so beautiful that this is just like, this the champak flower is there, right? Champak flower is kind of a whitish yellow kind of thing. And if you see at the bottom, there is a 4 cross sections are there. That color is basically Radharani's beautiful color complexion. So it's a high-level devotee. When he sees the champak flower tree, he imagines that. What he says, that Tadita Subarna Champaka Gaura Vigrahe. Basically, Radharani's complexion is like that. How? Tadita Subarna means when there is a lightning is there, that kind of thing. And then the Subarna Champaka, these two, when they are mixed together, the Radharani's complexion is just like that. So a devotee sees Krishna everywhere and all around. So for them, Krishna is saying that I am never lost, nor he is ever lost to me. Now, here Prabhupada is saying that though Arjuna is knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is helping us to see Krishna everywhere. Now, why Arjuna is inquiring this? What is the purpose behind it? Basically, the purpose behind is that about this all-pervading aspect that Krishna is everywhere, that we should understand Krishna better. Arjuna knew that in future, with the yugas changing, that there will be some challenges in our understanding, that we might not understand Krishna better. We will have some doubt about who is Bhagavan. So like Bhakti Prashuddha Maharaj once had given a class in our temple, he was saying that these days in India, there is a God manufacturing machine. He was saying that we have already so many demigods, but these days, every now and then or every year, there is a new addition to the so-called godmans. These are kind of man-made godmans. So in those cases, we should understand who is real Bhagavan. So if somebody is Bhagavan, what they have 6 opulences. What are the opulences? They have full strength, full fame, wisdom, wealth, beauty, and on top of that, having everything, he should have the capability of renunciating them. So then only the person is a Bhagavan. But now, unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, there are so many so-called godmen are there. They claim that they're Bhagavan, and the less intelligent people, as per Prabhupada's language, the mudas, they get attracted towards them. But when somebody is claiming that to be a Bhagavan or that he's Bhagavan of the Kali Yuga, then we should ask about this potency, that do you really have these 6 opulences? And if we read scriptures properly, we see that Krishna at the very childhood age, at the age of 7, he was able to lift Govardhan mountain for 7 days. It is 100% sure that none of us or none of the godmen or anybody can even lift a small laptop or anything. Forget about laptop, any water bottle or anything in the top of the pinky for 7 minutes. Nobody can do that. But still, they claim that they are to be Bhagavan. So then next thing is, what is the another purpose? That we should get more and more have confirmation that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by understanding this, our faith on Krishna also will increase. Then we will see everything in relation to Krishna as we discuss now. So we see that there are so many superhuman activities Krishna has done, and Krishna and Arjuna has so many experiences with Krishna, and he has the proper knowledge that Krishna is actually Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has the intelligence also. And on top of it, that he has Krishna's grace or Krishna's mercy. That is why he is able to understand Krishna as Krishna and Krishna's all-pervading aspect. Now we see that Krishna is actually, basically God is everywhere. He's all-pervading. But in one of the, I think Srimad Bhagavatam, there's written that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So it says, Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchami. Basically, Krishna is saying that I don't leave, take one step out of Vrindavan. But now, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we get association of the devotees, and through them, we see Krishna everywhere. We see through this so many illustrious Maharajas we have here, and they do so many sadhanas, and they bring so many nice topics of Krishna consciousness to us. Through them, basically, we see Krishna everywhere. Though we read scriptures, but through their vanis, we see Krishna's presence everywhere. All these material creations we see, everything we see, all these trees, all these living entities, all these buildings, all these mountains, everything is basically everywhere. Basically, Krishna is there. So basically, Krishna is all pervading, and he is in all planetary systems. How to understand this? Prabhupada also gives a nice example here. Prabhupada says that when you are burning a fire, we were doing when it is very cold and you are trying to do a bonfire kind of thing, and you are sitting next to it. You are putting the fire in one place, but the surrounding everywhere it gets heated up. How it is get heated up? Because of its flame, and because it has the energy to heat it up all around. Similarly, Krishna's energy is all pervading and in all planetary system. Though Krishna is in Vrindavan, is in Golok Vrindavan, so Krishna's energy and Krishna's potency is visible everywhere. Though here in this material planet we see everything is a perverted reflection of the spiritual Vrindavan, but everything we see, Krishna's energy we see is all pervading in the entire planetary system. That is basically Krishna's energy. Now we see that energy and energetic, they are simultaneously same and different. So Krishna is simultaneously the same and different to this energy. But those who have really have some kind of personal experience about Krishna's glories and Krishna's pastimes, or they have the proper knowledge or proper intelligence, then they only can understand about this all-pervading aspect of Krishna. So here Prabhupada says in the purport here that Arjuna has personal experience through his because he was his Krishna's cousin, he was a devotee, he was a friend, and Arjuna has the enough intelligence because Arjuna was a good student. Arjuna's intelligence also has come from Krishna as a mercy, and Arjuna has the knowledge because Arjuna has seen everything, Arjuna has witnessed everything, and Arjuna has read also. And now Krishna has given the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So Arjuna has all the categories what a person should have, and through all these agencies he could understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So similarly, we should take on from this verse that we should also develop personal experience with Krishna. We should also if not Krishna, also with the devotees, we should do sadhu sangha, because with sadhu sangha we see that everything we get it. We can get all kind of intelligence. Then we do some devotional service, and if we do devotional service with love, then we get more service. Doing the service, generally we get intelligence also. Then we have the knowledge, we get the knowledge through scriptures. So when we acquire all these things, then we can understand how all-pervading Krishna is. Like how, then we won't have any doubt also that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is all-pervading. So with this, I would like to end today's discussion. Maybe we can, if you have any suggestions or anything, maybe we can discuss now. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Good pranam, all worship Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Premasarovara Mataji. That was a powerful speech. It was wonderful points. Thank you so much for sharing the wisdom, what Krishna and the devotees are shared. It's very powerful. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have anything to add, any questions, comments, concerns, please open up. This is the time for it. Always good
Yes.
to discuss, based on the class and anything related to the spiritual topics. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all goes well. Yeah, nice Mataji, very nicely explained. And I felt that not only spiritual knowledge, I think you already mentioned that, but I'm sharing the realization. Spiritual Master Mercy and Krishna Mercy, yeah, these are required, and Vaishnava Mercy is required to see God, or realize God, or get the love of God. That's what I realized, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. It is definitely without spiritual master mercy and Vaishnava's mercy, we cannot do anything. We cannot proceed also. So I can definitely see this from my personal experience. Like initial phase when we join this movement, sometimes we feel that I have come from an Indian background. I have this kind of knowledge already. I have acquired so much knowledge, and I'm just coming here. I might be superior than them, but with the mercy and with devotees association with Vaishnava's mercy, slowly we realize how insignificant we are in comparison to others. Basically, I'm telling about my experience. You all are great Vaishnavas and great souls, but I'm telling about my experience. So definitely mercy is very important. With spiritual master's mercy and Vaishnava's mercy, Krishna looks more beautiful to us. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat or Prabhupada. Thank you for such a nice enlightening lecture. Learned a lot from your lecture today. It would be nice if you could explain, like, I know like Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that even the demigods and the sages can't understand him, but like you mentioned that even Krishna cannot understand him. If you can explain that, like, Krishna, I know like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an example. You did mention that, he wanted to understand the love of gopis, especially Radharani. So he took that form. But if you can elaborate more on that Krishna cannot even understand his own energies. Thank you, Mataji.
That is one example. Like Krishna, sometimes he looks at the mirror and he thinks. I was listening to one of the lectures. He was saying that Krishna is looking like, if Krishna is crying, right? So Mother Yasoda will showing him the mirror. In the mirror, actually, the moon's reflection will be there. But Krishna will see him, and he will imagine that how beautiful I am. Is this really me? So Krishna actually sometimes have doubt that am I so beautiful? So Krishna sees that how the gopis are running behind me. So he asks this question to himself: what is there within me that these gopis are, like running after me? So he himself, Krishna is 100% beautiful. He is Purna Purushottam, but he is not able to speculate. How come I am so 100% complete that these gopis are behind me? They are so beautiful and they are behind me. That's one way to look at it. And another thing, I can join here. In the Ramayana pastime, we see that Lord Sri Ram, he is basically what he is doing. He sees that in the Shatubandha pastime, he says that little squirrels are also doing little work. So looking at everybody's enthusiasm, Ramji thought that everybody are doing my work and I am also not doing. I should also do something. So what he is doing, he is taking a stone. He is taking a stone and it's putting inside the water, and it is not floating. It is going behind it. It's basically it is immersing inside the water. So Ramji also thinking there that these monkeys, they are lifting a mountain and lifting a stone and throwing. It is floating over here, but when I am throwing it, why it is not floating? So Ramji also has a doubt. So then I think Jambavan or Hanuman explains him that that this, all these planets you have created, the planets you have just let it there, they are floating, but the simple stones are not floating. Why? Because if you throw somebody, if you throw somebody, how will they survive? They will not survive. So that is basically Ramji's inconceivable potency of mercy. So Ramji is not able to understand that. So like that, I would say that this potency is sometimes God also bewildered that am I having so much potency and so much energies? I just wanted to say this here. Hope I'm able to explain, Raghuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Very, very beautiful example. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Mataji, I have one takeaway point from this session, and which is like Krishna's mercy or Krishna's energy is like the blazing fire. So if it will definitely spread, I mean, if it is at one place, it will spread around that area. So that is a very good point, Mataji. Thank you for mentioning.
Thank you, Mataji. Like when Prabhupada came here, initially he had only one. He did Rathatra in one. I think in San Francisco for the first time he did Rathatra in California. But if you see now here, all around the world, this Jagannath's presence is there. Jagannath was never outside. He has never came out of Puri. But with Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we got the association of Jagannath. We could understand him. And in 1968 or 69, we had the first Rath Yatra. But now you see all around the world, even Pakistan and all the different Muslim countries, we are having Rath Yatras now. So from that, we can see how the mercy or the grace angle, how it goes from one place to another, and how Lord's potency, it's kind of all pervading. Like Lord's mercy, it's kind of spreading all around through his different energies.
Anybody else? Any other comments? Everybody is ready for dinner.
Yeah, tomorrow is Sivaratri.
Tomorrow is Shivaratri, yes. Yeah. Good that you reminded, Mataji. It's fasting till noon, Shivaratri. Some fast in the night as well, complete fasting. That's a very specific fasting, but Vaishnavas fast till noon. Complete fasting. Because Lord Shiva is considered as a pure Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yada Shambhu is the topmost Vaishnava. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow on this section that will have some pastimes of Lord Shiva as well, so that everybody understand the Shiva Tattva. It's very important to understand who is Shiva, who is Lord Shiva. Many misconceptions. Please join. Yes, fasting till noon, full fasting till noon tomorrow. And then continue the fasting with the one-time eating or Ekadashi Prasadam. Sometimes people doesn't sleep throughout the night because it's known as Shivaratri. This is the day, this is the night Lord Shiva appeared. And also this is the night Lord Shiva drank the poison and appeared, and all those killed the demons. This is Naragasura, not Naragasura. Yeah. Yeah, there are some pastimes related to this day. Yeah. Do we start fasting from midnight? Let me tell you this. So our Vaishnava tradition, the fasting is starting from sunrise, not from the midnight. So there's an Gregorian calendar method that midnight is starting 12 a.m., 1 a.m. So our Vedic calendar is sunrise. That's a morning. That's a beginning. So sunrise to sunrise. I mean, yes, devotees get up early and they start from there, early morning, Brahma Muhurta. Is it clear? Is it okay? Okay. Anything else? Anybody else has anything to? Okay. Okay. So if there is nothing else, let's conclude today's session. Vancha kalpatarubhasya krapa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Krishna Vrinda ki jai. Mahashivaratri ki jai. Hare Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari 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 Bol. Hare Krishna.